your 19 First Alert forecast.
And good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News coming to you from our digital desk. It is a First Alert weather day, and you know why. It doesn't always have to be about the snow. Today, it's all about the dangerous temperatures out there. 11, 12 degrees, a live look at our First Alert network of cameras. It may look like the sun is shining, but it doesn't matter when you have polar air that is overhead as we do today. Let's welcome in our 19 First Alert meteorologist, Andy Chillian. Andy, not only is today a First Alert weather day, and that's a designation you and the team put on days like today because it can be so dangerous, we have First Alert weather days coming up that you want people to be mindful of.
Yeah, we've issued them now from Friday into the weekend. We just added Friday. It looks like that next round of Arctic air is going to be arriving a little bit sooner. So heads up for Friday afternoon and evening. We could see similar wind chills as what we did this morning. And that cold is going to carry over into the weekend as well. So lots to talk about. I want to break it down for you. Days that are going to be in effect as we head from the rest of today and then into this weekend. So right now, of course, it's cold. We're at 12 in Cleveland. Those wind chills have been below zero and still remain that way. Again, the good news is it's dry and sunny, and I know we don't get a lot of sunny days in the winter, but when you have the air that is this dry, this cold, you really don't get much in the way of clouds other than some lake effect clouds or east of Cleveland and really no snow. So for the rest of today and this evening, it is going to be pretty chilled. We're still looking at wind chills that could be between 0 and 5 degrees below, temperatures in the single digits. And we'll continue to stay mostly clear for a time, and then we'll start to cloud over overnight. And that's ahead of our next system. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves for this weekend, I want to talk about what's coming in the near term because we do have some snow to talk about. So here's a look at our First Alert future view for the rest of today. Again, notice those temperatures falling single digits as we head through about midnight. Then they'll actually rise a bit overnight. Not going to be real warm by any stretch of the imagination tomorrow. But when we talk about dangerous wind chills, we'll be at least feeling like the single digits tomorrow morning. Again, I know that's not great, but it's not the 10 to 20 degree below wind chills that we saw this morning. So there should be school tomorrow, but at the same time, we're going to be looking at some snow moving in. So this is not a lot of snow, but it could coat some roads. So we want you to be aware of your morning commute. It will be plenty cold enough, and this will be that real light, flaky type snow you get when you have temperatures in the teens. 8 a.m. tomorrow, you see a bit of a break, but then another round coming through midday. Notice temperatures, though, keep rising. We're actually going to be above freezing tomorrow, if you can believe it. We're going to make it to the mid-30s. That may not happen until mid to late afternoon into the evening, but it is coming. I want us to be aware of the evening commute, though, as well. Even if we're above freezing, there's the potential for some snow bursts or squalls. We've seen a couple of those already in recent days. We had some yesterday, and we had some on Saturday. You know those if you're driving, it looks fine, and then all of a sudden you get into barely near zero visibility. You can't really see the cars in front of you. It's just almost blinding whiteout conditions with gusty winds. That's possible tomorrow evening for the evening drive and afterwards. Even if temperatures are a bit above freezing, any squall can quickly coat the ground as it will be overwhelming those warmer temperatures. And then we fall back below freezing overnight into Thursday morning. Once we do so, we're in the freezer for a long time. So enjoy those mid-30s as best you can tomorrow. We have another round of snow possible in the Thursday morning, another commute to watch Thursday morning. Could end off with a bit of snow and then some lake effect possible Thursday afternoon before things quiet down. So 3 commutes to watch tomorrow morning and evening and then Thursday morning. This is not going to be a lot of snow. Here's our snow tracker, but we know a little bit of snow can go a long way. I'd say 77 in general, the dividing line. West of that line, a trace to an inch. Maybe up to a couple inches further east, and then in the snow belt we could see 2 to 3. This would be both rounds, so everything coming from early tomorrow morning through late Thursday. And of course a reminder that we get higher amounts in squalls. Now I want to focus on what's happening for the wind chill tracker for this upcoming weekend. So let's show you the tracker here. Again, wind chills tomorrow morning, not going to be as bad. I'm talking single digits. This is 9 a.m. And then we're feeling like the 20s tomorrow. Again, not great, but it's not as bad as it has been. And then as we get into your Thursday, it's not horrible, but this is what's coming on Friday. So Friday morning, we could already feel a bit below zero. But notice that Arctic air taking over. And this is 1 p.m. Friday. So this is literally in the middle of the day. and we could feel like we're in some cases 16 degrees below zero, Cleveland, Elyria, 18 below in Sandusky. That's dangerous cold in the middle of the day. This isn't the morning. The Arctic front's going to be moving through during the day, so a little bit unusual there. It's going to feel pretty bad into Saturday morning as well. Saturday won't be maybe as bad during the afternoon, and that's not really as a result of warmer temperatures. It's the fact that this weekend won't be as windy. So at least we got that going for us, right? But either way, Sunday morning could be pretty bad as well with those wind chills. So that's why we've issued those 19 first alert weather days this weekend. It's for the cold. We may even see some snow on Sunday. We have a southern storm system that looks like it's going to be a direct lock for areas like the southern Ohio Valley into the Appalachians, down towards Tennessee, for example. How far north that snow shield with that system makes it is still in question. We could get clipped by it, so we'll continue to watch Sunday for that potential. But, Dan, the main alerts this weekend are really for the cold mainly, as it's going to be potentially really similar to what we've seen already late yesterday and into this morning.
Andy, we've had some of these frigid weeks before. You know, we know this is Northeast Ohio. It's winter. It's going to get cold. Is this January, mid to late January? Is this when we expect it, or is this usually what we see in mid-February?
You know, this is pretty much statistically our coldest time of the year, actually. So, you know, if we're going to get this type of Arctic weather, it's going to be between about now and I would say to about early mid-February, like to Valentine's Day. So if you do holidays, like say from MLK Day to Valentine's Day is statistically when we would get these Arctic blasts. So this really isn't out of the ordinary for this time of year. And actually, I talk a little bit about this on First Alert Focus. You can join that tonight at 7:30 on Channel 43. And we actually had even colder temperatures around this time last year. So I know it seems like it's been a real brutal winter, and it has been because we have to go back through December. But this time last year, we had temperatures that fell below zero, and that was the actual air temperature. So I know it's cold, not to diminish that fact, but if we're going to get this type of cold, this would statistically be the time of year for it to happen.
It makes sense. We're going to take a quick break, and Andy will delve into the rest of the details for our 7-day. We'll be right back. And welcome back to our look at our First Alert Weather Day. The camera, I want you to notice the upper right that looks out over the lake from Voinovich Park. You can see a lot of ice forming. And Andy, if we're going to look for a positive here, it is that with cold temperatures like this, ice starting to freeze over the lake, that knocks out the moisture needed for lake effect snow. So there is a silver sort of lining here.
Yeah, it is, Dan. You know, it's interesting to say this, but in some cases, it's actually potentially going to be too cold to snow as we head over the next several days. I know we still have snow chances in there, but yes, the more ice means we shut off the lake effect. Now, it would have to be completely iced over. Even little cracks can sometimes allow that lake effect to form, but there's going to be rapid ice development over Lake Erie these next several days. Maybe a little bit slower these next couple days because of the wind, but by this weekend, we'll see. Last year, I think we got to about 96%, and that was in the middle of February, so we'll see if we can beat that this year, but it's going to have no hard time these next several days. All right, let's break down the First Alert 7-day for us. We have some snow chances tomorrow. Again, we're above freezing, so a little bit of a thaw if you want to call it that, but then we're back into the freezer and a deeper chill. Thursday, some flake slinger in the morning. It's going to be windy again, and there's Friday. It's amazing. We're putting a high of 17, and then you see the down arrow. So that 17 is going to be like morning, midday high, kind of like what we saw yesterday. If you were outside at all yesterday, you know it was colder in the afternoon than it was in the morning. Same idea on Friday. Falling to around 0 Saturday morning. I wouldn't be surprised if some areas actually fall below 0. Same with Sunday morning. Just frigid on Saturday. We can't really get much above 10. Sunday, we're watching that southern storm. Again, it is going to mainly be to our south, but there are a couple models that show that snow shield, that snow line, a little bit farther north. So we do need to watch for that. We won't see any major impacts like they are south. National headlines, anybody's watching the news, are going to see like there could be several inches to maybe a foot of snow in parts of the Appalachians, for example, even areas that wouldn't get it, parts of the south. We're going to be on the very edge of that if we do get anything. So we'll continue to watch for that. And then snow may linger into Monday before Tuesday. Still cold, but I mean, 20 probably never felt so good after what we're going through this weekend. So these Arctic blasts, they're not real long duration. I mean, the worst of the colds, maybe a couple days or so, but you definitely feel it. But I'm just not seeing signs of us getting back above freezing after tomorrow until maybe the end of the month, even to early February. So this is a very long duration chill for us that we're going to have to just take a day at a time. And of course, remember all those safety tips. We've been talking about it a lot on any news stories that we've done. But just to remember the pets, for example, remember the pipes as well, because we want everybody to stay safe and of course make it through this cold blast.
Yeah, and it is not messing around time is what I call it. This is stupid cold, and it is not messing around time. 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian, thanks for the update. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.
All right, sounds good, Dan.
All right, take care. We do have 3.5 hours of news and First Alert weather coming up at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. And as our meteorologists say, the next forecast is always the best forecast because they get new data all the time, all day, and you'll be able to get updated, especially as we keep our eye on that massive storm on Sunday that will mainly be to our south, but our meteorologists like to use the term wobble. You can get these storms that all of a sudden they move a little bit in a direction and it can change things completely around. So we'll have to keep our eyes on Sunday. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, I'm Dan DeRose for 19 News. Have a great afternoon.